evening, everybody, and welcome to the 35th Annual Cubs Convention. This is the first and still the best sports convention in the world.
Chicago Cubs baseball is on the air. Can I just say one thing before we get started today? I've been wanting to say it for quite some time. The Chicago Cubs win the World Series. It also happened to be Game 7 of the World Series. The new manager of the Chicago Cubs, David Ross. Albert Almora Jr. Adbert Alzolay. Say hello to Miguel Amaya. A master of magicality, Javier Baez. Was the one hit a couple of summers ago by David Bodie. This guy at a young age has already had a great career. Rookie of the Year, MVP, a member of a World Championship team, one of the best players in the game, Kris Bryant. This guy made great strides a year ago as a catcher and an infielder and a pinch hitter, Victor Caratini. This guy is not only a good catcher, he's one of the best hitters in the game. Welcome back to All-Star Wilson Contreras. Cubs have a few new faces we're going to meet tonight for the first time. A new relief pitcher. Let's welcome Jharel Cotton. Yu Darvish. Daniel Descalso. This guy made a very positive impact when he came up to the big leagues in the middle of last season. Welcome back to infielder Robel Garcia. They're still young, but you think they're going to be a star ball player someday. I have that feeling about Ian Happ. This guy pitched a masterpiece, beat the Dodgers, put the Cubs into the World Series. Kyle Hendricks. And he also has quite a bit of power. He's a great guy on the ball club, Jason Hayward. But a couple of injuries forced the Cubs to call him. He joined the team and did a tremendous job over the final couple of weeks. Welcome back to Nico Hoerner. This next bullpen right-hander has one of the best arms in the game, Dylan Maples. Trevor McGill. One of the top right-handed pitching prospects in the organization. Welcome back to Tyson Miller. He was used kind of as a spot starter. That's never an easy job at the big league level, but he's going to be a good pitcher. Alec Mills. James Norwood. A new member of the Chicago Cubs. A nice Cubs convention welcome for left-hander C.D. Pelham. Jose Quintana. Colin Ray. When this guy played on a badly sprained ankle, it was one of the most inspirational things I have ever seen. One of the best players in the game, Anthony Rizzo. A right-handed reliever who spent 2019 with the Myrtle Beach Pelicans. Welcome to Manuel Rodriguez. That was the case a year ago with left-handed reliever Kyle Ryan. Get out the tape measure, long gone. Welcome back to Kyle Schwarber. A gentleman just added to the 40-man roster. Welcome to infielder Zach Short. Welcome to left-hander Justin Steele. A newly signed right-hander is here. A nice Cubs convention welcome for Ryan Tepera. Here's another guy who was very impressive a year ago. In the future, he might develop into a pretty good closer in the big leagues. Strong, hard-throwing right-hander Brad Wick. Dan Winkler. Dan is a right-hander. A nice big round of applause for the 2020 Chicago Cubs. We are not done yet. By no means are we done. It is time to say hi to the Cubs Hall of Famers. Former MVP, good to see him around Wrigley last year, the Hawk, Andre Dawson. Three-time All-Star, Cy Young winner, simply the greatest pitcher in Cubs history, Ferguson Jenkins. This guy won 9 Gold Gloves, made 10 All-Star teams, MVP, and 2 homers off Bruce Sutter in 1 game, Ryne Sandberg. This guy was finally inducted into the Hall of Fame last summer. It was long overdue. 7-time All-Star, almost 500 saves, the great Lee Smith. One of the sweetest swings in baseball history, Billy Williams. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2020 Cubs and the Cubs alumni and the Hall of Famers.
Off the mound with Ryan Dempster. your guests, the Ricketts family, Theo Epstein, Jed Hoyer, David Ross, Lee Smith, Giovanni Soto, Ted Lilly, Javier, Kyle Schwarber, Anthony Rizzo, Jason Hayward. And now, your host for the evening, Mr. Ryan Dempster!
Come on. Yes! Thank you! And that's the most fun. Spring baseball in Chicago, to me, was one of my favorite things. Because being a pitcher, I felt like it was the one time a year we kind of had a little bit of an advantage, you know? It's still cold out. The hitters don't like the ball in their hands on the inside. Right? The center field cameras aren't calibrated yet. Sorry. And I was wondering, because through all of this, you know, there's been these punishments and these, nobody's actually found out who was hammering away on the trash can. Right? I did. I found out who did it. Right here, check him out. Hold on. Yeah. Not a happy guy. Not a happy guy. But, you know, we look back to look forward, right? So we look at the 2019 season. It was tough. It was tough for you as fans. It was tough for the boys in blue, right? Yeah, not the umpires, the Cubs. Every year is a tough year for the umpires, hence the robots coming. Sorry, just factual speaking. And if you just wrap your head around, if you think about just the last 5 years, in the last 5 years, we are second in all of baseball. Sorry, we're third in all of baseball. I forgot about the Astros in wins. The Dodgers and the Astros, and then us. Sorry, I heard that banging coming and kind of led me to that. But we're third in wins in the last 5 years, and that's something to be super, super proud of, and we should all give ourselves, as a team, as a fan base, a round of applause for that. Other stuff, we have a lot of nice free agent signings this offseason, right? We signed, that we did that one multi-year deal with, you know what? It's still January. We got a lot of time, folks. They are truly incredible people. They've turned the north side of Chicago and Wrigleyville into an expectation of winning and success. They love their fans, they love their team, and they're the greatest owners in baseball. Please put your hands together for Tom and Laura Ricketts.
It makes losing harder now. It makes what 10 years ago would have been an amazing season for us, a really hard season. And I know it's true for the fans as well. So every time there's a disappointment at the end of the year, or what have you, or at the end of a series, there's our own disappointment. But then we also carry the weight of tens of millions of fans, and knowing that they are disappointed as well. And so a loss weighs a lot heavier on us now. I'll just say that, or a poor performance, or what have you.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel it. I know, just like being around it, being somebody who went through those tough times, and then to watch it, you're like, whoa, this feels a lot different now because we expect to win. So that's a really, really great place to be in. I love David Ross
We have a lot of
stories.
David Ross stories,
Yeah.
but does anyone remember in 2016 when the day we clinched, and David Ross got up to pinch hit in like the 8th inning, and he walked up, he got in the box, and people were cheering so much for him that he had to step out and compose himself. So that night, we're at the team party, some rooftop in some hotel, and I'm just talking to him, and I said, David, that was a really amazing moment. he's like, yeah, you know, I got up, I went to the batter's box, I stood in the batter's box, people were cheering so hard, I started to choke up. I had to get out and compose myself. And he said, that's never happened to me before. And I'm like, David, that's never happened to any 220 hitter before. We're happy to have him back.
Yes. I know what you say. He's a very charismatic guy. He's a very passionate guy. I know that as a teammate. We had a meeting the other day in the offices with scouts and coaches and front office. And when he got done speaking, I was like, I want to go get ready for spring training. Like, I want to start throwing. He made me want to run through a brick wall. It was that much passion. And I think all the Cubs fans here and everybody in the Cubs family is really lucky to have him on board. So,
This one. This is from Brendan Flush from Waukegan.
Fake name.
Why can't we make cup snakes in the bleachers anymore?
you didn't know you were going to get these hard-hitting questions, did you, huh?
Wow. Well, you know, I think it's kind of, actually, I think the snakes are kind of funny. Like, I think it's kind of a cool thing. It's kind of organic. Like, it's not like anybody coaches anyone to do that. I think the only problem that people worry about is, like, you know, you don't want to, have a snake fall over and spill beer all over people. And then, of course, you don't want it to fall on the field, but I think it's relatively harmless. I'm not sure what the big deal is.
Theo Epstein and Jed Hoyer. How you guys doing? Jed, doing good?
Great.
You look good. What have you been doing, PX90 or something? Yeah.
I'm just skinny.
Just skinny, yeah.
Skinny fat guy here, so.
Yeah.
I still got my shirt.
I know, right? You got all your buttons ponied up this year. Jason Hayward doesn't have to come help you out.
I gave my buttons a motivational speech before we came out here today.
That was a good play. Nice. How's the off season been going? You guys happy with everything?
Super busy with all the moves.
Yep. I kind of
we're-
locked up with the free agents we did sign.
We are. It's odd because normally at convention, you know, we've made all our moves and it's kind of like the end of the off season and turn our attention to spring training. And in some ways, our off season is just getting started. So we're look forward to doing everything we can between now and when the season starts to keep making the team better. And hopefully we're busy and can add to the great base that we have for the 2020 team. You know, Rossi, of all the players I've ever been around, he's by far been the most intentional about winning and creating a winning environment, and that's something that he did as a player. He just, he would do whatever it took, the little small things behind the scenes that go into winning, like calling out a teammate who doesn't give a full effort, or whoever's, the guy on the team who's on his own a little too often. He'll take him out to dinner and bring him into the group, just the little things, and then was curious to see how that would translate after his playing career, whether he could carry that over. And he's been around a lot the last few years, and just to see the way he still had that presence in the clubhouse and the way players still look to him for guidance and for reassurance and for support and to someone to vent to or someone to seek advice from. It's just clear that he's so respected and so honestly beloved, but while holding guys accountable at the same time. It's a really rare combination. It leads to winning, and we're looking forward to what he can do as the leader of this organization in that way.
Sustaining success is hard, right? It's a cyclical thing in baseball and in all sports. You see it. The Golden State Warriors, they're the best team in basketball, and all of a sudden they're, how do you go about balancing and sustaining success over a long period of time?
Yeah, well, I think, we obviously drafted and traded for this core that we have, and I think during that period we invested a lot of prospect resources in that group. We spent a lot of money to win, and I think we did. But I do think that there's times in that cycle where you have to sort of pare back a bit and focus somewhat on the future, because the goal is not to sit here and talk about 2016 for forever. We want to continue to be a great team. We want to do it again, and I think in order to do that, in order to do that well, you have to really think about, one eye in the future, one eye in the present, and realize that, our goal is to have a good convention every year, have a good team every year, be able to know going into the season that you're a playoff contender, and I think we can certainly do that.
And the really smart GMs always remember, after a bad year, you say everything is cyclical. And after a good year, you talk about sustaining success. That's the way it
Yes,
goes.
absolutely. Well played.
I think that's just something that's going to come so naturally to Rossi. You know, he's just so engaging one-on-one with guys and not afraid to call them on their BS and challenge them to do more and to raise their level, even if they're already good. Some of his best conversations have been with guys who are already really, really good players, challenging them to be great. And then the other thing is just, look, let's be honest, our last 2 Septembers we're not proud of, you know. When it mattered most, we just love to come through for you guys when it matters most and deliver October baseball, and we didn't do it the last 2 Septembers, and that's something that you live with, and it keeps you up at night. So if you can't get motivated after what's happened the last couple Septembers, you probably should find another profession. But our guys are extremely motivated. The high standards that we have for ourselves and that you guys hold us accountable for, that's important. We want that, and all we want to do is play well all year long, finish strong in September, and deliver a month of October baseball for you guys this year.
No smiles on our face anymore. I'll never forget, like, I sit down on the couch and I, kind of do one of these, and the first question comes, and I'm like, oh, okay, here we go. All right, my heart rate's up. What we talking about? So, and then I left that meeting. It was an intense day. A lot of talking, a lot of questions, and again, my passion and my beliefs kept pouring out of me that I didn't even know really was in there. I had never really said them out loud. And then I left. I never forget leaving, walking out of Wrigley Field, and like, man, I'll be really disappointed if I don't get this. So then Theo calls me. He's like, hey, we appreciate you coming in. And I'm like, I didn't get it. Immediately, I didn't listen to a word he said after that. So. But I'm happy to be here. I appreciate you guys' support. I'm excited about this season, and it's been a fun ride so far. Yeah, it's been fun, like already I've told Riz, we had dinner the other night, and he just said, hey man, I'm looking forward to talking about my spring training schedule, and I'm like, I'll let you know how it goes, okay, buddy? Daddy's in charge now.
He started asking you to bat leadoff and stuff?
Yeah. I'm like, well, John called me the other day. We were talking about opening day starters. Like, hey, John, that's my decision now, buddy, okay? No.
How great is that, by the way? I cannot wait for the first time till you go out and take the ball from him.
We've talked about.
I'm like on the edge of my seat waiting for that.
That's really the only reason I took this job,
yeah. When you look at guys on the team and different things, and how do you do something like maybe make it so that Anthony Rizzo hits over 200 in April? Sorry, that didn't come out like I meant it to come out.
We've got a great hitting group. I'm going to be the last guy to talk about hitting. I think Mr. Ricketts already made that point pretty clear. Like, I don't know why they carried a 220 hitter off the field, but me either, Mr. Ricketts. I have no idea, but I'm glad they did.
We got a problem. There's an epidemic right now, and I'm looking for answers. I'm putting an end to this. That's right. You hear me? You think you can get away with it? You got another thing coming. Hey, who took this? Was it you? What'd I say about stealing the signs off the wall? I'm finding you. Hey, where do you think you're going with that? Where do you think you're going with that sign? You didn't get the memo? Yeah. Well, there might be a problem with sign stealing. Not here at Wrigley while I'm in charge. That's right. I'm on it.
Was he named after the Minion or?
No, he was named after Home Alone, Kevin.
Kevin! Oh, yes. Oh, no. Man, new father, recently married. Kyle Schwarber just got married. Sorry, ladies, he's off the market. How was the wedding, man? Everything good?
Wow. It was
Really?
great. It was awesome.
Yeah.
I mean,
Arietta had a great time.
yeah.
Nice.
Arietta
You
had a
went?
great time.
Yeah.
Did you go?
I was there.
You went. Mine must have. Probably got lost
These
in the
two
mail.
beautiful guys were here.
Mine probably.
Awesome.
My invite probably got lost in the mail. That's okay. Sorry.
Hey, bro, how you doing?
Good. How's your off season been going?
It's been beautiful.
Wait,
man.
can you throw those up real quick? Can you throw those up on the stage real quick? Bam, bam. What? Where does one get something like that? Because I want a pair of those.
Bro, you can scoop some.
Okay.
Yeah, I got you. Actually, I got you.
11 and a half.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bet. Saint Laurent.
Sweet.
Sure.
All right. Good. So off season's been good.
Off season's been beautiful. Been in Chicago a lot. Working out at Wrigley.
Yep.
It's always good to see the staff there, everything like that. Obviously, enjoy the off season and the holiday time in the city. It's something we take a lot of pride in as a family getting together. But here in Atlanta, in Atlanta, I opened up a facility, a gym there where I work out, and a lot of athletes, football players, baseball players, basketball, you name it, professional in high school, come through there, work out and stuff like that. So it's been good to be active.
Nice. That's awesome. Anthony, everything's good, man. Off season's been good.
Tremendous.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You had a great event last night. Everybody was there. A
Yep.
wonderful night. You guys raised about $500,000.
$500,000.
Wow,
Yes,
man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
It was great.
I think a lot of it was one.
Be honest, Joe's not here anymore, so you can say whatever you want,
I think one was the team, just the support that we have with all the guys in the room. No one gives up on each other. It doesn't matter if you're at your all-time high or all-time low. Everyone's going to be the same person every day, and I strive to be that guy every day who's just going to be the same guy. It doesn't matter if I'm 0 for 4 or 4 punch-outs or 4 for 4 with a couple homers. I still want to be that same guy coming in, trying to put smiles on guys' faces, and trying my butt off every day. It might not look pretty, but I can go home at the end of the day knowing that I left it out there on the field for these guys and for everyone at home.
Nice. Jay, you signed here as a free agent before the 2016 season. And can you just kind of wrap your head around the fact that that was an 8-year contract and you're already halfway through that? That's how fast time flies, man.
Yeah. Time flies when you're having fun. Spending 6 years playing baseball in a couple other cities, there's nothing like this. For me, I started to take some videos last year, walking around Wrigley, just random times, just to soak it in, man, because it's a special place, and only guys like these two right here, yourself, some of the other people that come up on the stage, man, it's one of a kind. So I don't take it for granted one bit.
Oh man, what I love most about Wrigley Field, and I'm gonna go off the beaten path here, is Tom Hellman.
Really?
Yes. Otis.
Otis.
I don't think anyone in here. He's our head clubhouse guy. I've been thinking. I saw him today, and it's just he's been in the big leagues since I think the '60s.
Yeah.
He's been a clubhouse guy since the '60s.
He was a bat boy for the Cincinnati
For the
Reds.
Cincinnati Reds with
and
Pete Rose.
Yeah, with Pete Rose. And when Henry Aaron tied the home run record with Babe Ruth, the first person he played catch with was Tom Hellman.
So you come to the field every single day, right? It's Groundhog Day in the middle of summer, and you see Otis, and he's there, and he's always smiling, he's always happy. He was cooking when I first got here in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So I love coming there, and I just love seeing all the people who work there. And
you could be in a bad mood and walk into the field, and there's
you see
Odie, and
Otis,
he's got a
yeah.
big smile on
And
his face.
obviously, the fans every day when you're not feeling it, and you get out to that field, the energy is just insane. But what we have behind the scenes here is something that I never take for granted, especially all this, and it's amazing.
It's incredible. It's not like this everywhere, like you said, man. It's a special, special place to be.
As a guy that's played in I guess towards the end of the era where baseball is super strict, and guys have the unwritten rules or whatnot. You don't pimp stuff, whatever. Coming into this age of it, man, I feel like it's pretty special to see dudes not take it for granted. Hit a home run, they admire it a little bit. Hit a bomb, whatever, pitcher strike somebody out. They leave it all out there on the field, and I feel like that's a good thing for kids to see because it is a business when you get here. It's very much a business, man, and that's something that we all go through. We just wanted to play the game at 5 years old and come play baseball as long as we could, but it's nice to see guys, grown men, still act like kids.
Yeah, that is, man. Because at the end of the day, when you get between those white lines and you're playing, it's just a kid's game. You're competing against the guy out on the mound. I'm competing against you guys in the box, and that would not go very well right now if I even attempted that whatsoever. You guys just mash the baseball. You're so big and so strong. It's admirable. I'm a little envious right now, I'm not going to lie.
You chose to be a pitcher.
What's that?
Chose to pitch.
Yeah.
Play every 5th day.
Yeah, good point. Yeah. I told Riz that the other day. Riz was bragging about being a good pitcher. I said, hey, Riz, if you finish your career with a 0.8, nobody is ever going to think you pitched. I gave up a long home run in the World Series to Matt Holliday that landed like by the airport in Boston. And Johnny Gomes said that to me. I was pretty down. We won the game, but like I wanted to pitch really well. And I'm in the shower, and he looks at me and he goes, hey, Ryan, just think, man, if you finished with a ERA, nobody would have thought you threw it in the World Series. So
Good point.
Yeah.
That's a great point. But
So
I got an all-star out, so.
Oh,
Yeah.
my bad.
2 pitches.
Hey,
all.
and I'm curious as to this as we move along here. Your teammate, your old teammate, your friend is now your manager. What's that like? What's that feel like? Honestly,
It's bleeping awesome.
really?
Yes. Are you kidding me? I
You see why
can't
they're
wait
worried about
till.
it. You see why they're worried about things being too friendly with Rossi. As our
No,
manager
it's
right
going to be
here.
great. I can't wait for my 15th rollover and 17 at-bats, and I even hint at not running hard down the line, and him just screaming at me in the dugout. I can't, and there's going to be times where he's yelling at me, and it's going to be hard for me to keep it in, but it's going to, I can't wait.
But for Riz, for Jay, who Jay's played with him for probably the longest, and me, he was a mentor of mine. I know for Riz and for Jay, he demands the most utmost respect, and he's not a guy who's going to take crap from anyone. And I can give you my best David Ross story, and this from
Please do.
This is from my rookie year. I'm getting ready for a pinch hit in Pittsburgh, and Dexter Fowler's up, lefty, and he's facing some right-hander, and it gets in on him a little bit, jams him, but he hits it all the way to the warning track. What I wanted to ask in my head was, hey, did that pitch cut? What came out was, hey, did that get in on you? Were you a little late? And Dexter looks at me like I'm just the biggest idiot in the world and goes, what did it look like? I'm like, and David, and I didn't even know where David was at. David's sitting on the bench right behind me. He goes, hey, he's bright red. He's like, just go sit on the bench at the end and let the players play, and you go cheer them on. Do your job. And I'm like, oh, yes, sir.